brand new appointee for the Suffolk County Police Department for the commissioner role, Geraldine Hart, who's currently the resident agent in charge of the Long Island's FBI office. We're going to talk today about a case that is an extraordinary example of superb collaboration between the Suffolk County Police Department and the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office. Because of that collaboration, we put an end to a recipe for a massacre. We're not able to set forth all the investigative steps, but suffice it to say, due to a tip from Investigator LaRusso, who's joined with us here today, a hard-working member of the Suffolk County Police Department, who works in our Suffolk County Police Department's Pistol Licensing Bureau, and who reports to the Suffolk County Police Commissioner. And I had the pleasure of serving in that role and working with Investigator LaRusso in 2016 and 2017. Due to a tip from Investigator LaRusso, the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office was able to initiate an investigation into Larry C. Guerreri, age 65, of Patchogue, New York. The investigation concerned the illegal sale of firearms. Ultimately, in January of 2018, an undercover detective employed by the Suffolk County Police Department and assigned to the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office DA squad, and working in an undercover capacity, purchased an assault rifle and 4 high-capacity magazines from the now defendant Larry Guerreri for $2,000. The firearm was a Wilson Combat M4 assault rifle, model Tactical Custom 556. Not only is it illegal for the defendant to sell that weapon, because he is not licensed to do so, the firearm itself, a high-powered military-grade assault rifle, is illegal under New York state law. It included a pistol grip, a muzzle brake, and the ability to accept a detachable magazine. Moreover, the undercover made clear to the defendant during the transaction that he was prohibited under the law from owning a weapon. So you have a triple whammy in one transaction: an illegal sale of an illegal weapon to a prohibited person. In addition, during the transaction, the defendant showed off his arsenal and offered to sell a second illegal assault weapon, which had a flash suppressor and a telescopic stock and the ability to accept a detachable magazine. In February of 2018, this month, the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office and the Suffolk County Police Department executed a search warrant at the defendant's home in Patchogue and recovered what you see here on the table. It includes 4 assault rifles, at least 3 of which are illegal under New York state law, 19 various rifles and shotguns, 25 handguns, 10 illegal assorted knives, 18 metal ammunition cans filled with ammunition, over 50 large capacity feeding devices, including a 50-round magazine drum. We also recovered what appears to be armor-piercing bullets, which are illegal under state law. Based on the evidence we've collected thus far, these guns, if not seized as a result of this investigation, could have flooded the streets of Suffolk County. Currently, the defendant, Larry Guerreri, who's depicted in this mugshot, is charged with various crimes in a felony complaint. Those charges include criminal sale of a firearm to an unauthorized person in the third degree in violation of New York Penal Law 265 11.01. That's the assault rifle sold to the Undercover. Criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree in violation of New York Penal Law 265.0207, which is one of the assault rifles. Criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, which relates to an ammunition clip. Criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, which refers to another illegal assault rifle. Criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, which pertains to the possession of 3 or more illegal firearms. Upon completion of our investigation, more charges may be brought. The maximum sentence for the possession of the ammunition and the weapons is 15 years plus post-release supervision. And because of the sale, we are authorized under the law to seek a consecutive sentence of 7 years, which equates to a 22-year sentence of imprisonment. What we have here are military-grade assault rifles, large capacity magazines, assault weapons, and 50-round drums. These are killing machines. And these were in the hands of an individual who was selling these weapons illegally. Again, because of the great law enforcement work in this case, starting with Investigator LaRusso, and the excellent collaboration between the Suffolk County Police Department and the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, we were able to put an end to a recipe for a massacre. I want to thank everyone for their work on this case. At this point in time, I'll point out some of the weapons on the table. This weapon here is an example of an illegal AR-15. It's illegal because it accepts this drum and a large capacity magazine, and perhaps for other reasons as well. This is also an illegal AR-15 because of the grip here, and perhaps for other reasons. All these clips are all illegal, every single one of them, under New York State law. The knives are also illegal, and as you see here, this is what appears to be armor-piercing ammunition. And we'll be testing this in a lab, and these are perhaps illegal under New York State law as well.
Which gun did the detective purchase?
The one purchased is not on the table. Those ammunition clips were all manufactured after they became illegal in 1994. Moreover, each one of those clips has the capacity to hold 10 rounds of ammunition or more. As a result, possession of those clips is a felony. You're looking at right there a pile of felonies. With that, I'll take any questions.
Could you elaborate on the tip?
No.
What happened?
No, that's that. When I started my remarks, I qualified with, we're not going to be able to give you all the investigative steps taken. I did want to provide as much information as possible. We did receive a tip from Investigator LaRusso, and a word on Investigator LaRusso. Investigator LaRusso is an expert on firearms. He's for a significant period of time. How long have you been with the department?
8 years.
8 years. He's someone who I was able to work directly with in my role as Suffolk County Police Commissioner. He's someone who not only does his job professionally, but is always looking out for the people of Suffolk County, is always looking for ways to make the department a better department. And essentially this all began with him. And so I wanted to point that out. From there, the Suffolk County Police Department and the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office worked together. It culminated in the use of an undercover who works here in the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office. And obviously the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office is going to move forward with this prosecution. Right now the defendant is charged in a felony complaint, and we will be further investigating this matter and perhaps bringing additional charges.
Do we know how long this operation was going on for, and did the defendant himself have any plans to do anything sinister with these weapons in a sort of mass casualty event kind of thing?
This is an individual who, based on the evidence already gathered, clearly had no regard for the safety of the residents of Suffolk County. He knowingly sold an illegal firearm, a military-grade assault rifle that's illegal under New York State law, to an individual whom he believed was prohibited from possessing that weapon. First of all, everyone is prohibited from possessing the weapon he sold. Secondly, this individual, he believed he was selling it to an individual who could not possess any firearms under New York State law. This is an individual who, through his actions, obviously displayed a clear disregard for the safety and the law of this county and of this state. With respect to the timeline, I can't get into all the details because it would reveal investigative steps that I'm not at liberty to discuss. I will say that the sale was made in January and the search warrant was done this month.
Is there any idea how long he had been selling weapons outside of the home?
Certainly we have indications of a timeline. Again, I'm not providing any further information on that.
Any idea how much money he was making?
So these are expensive weapons. For example, as detailed in the felony complaint, the weapon he sold went for $2,000. Some of these weapons go for as much as $4,000. Nick, what do you think the most expensive weapon on the table is?
Probably the 3 rifles that are laid out right here, the green and then 2 tan camouflage.
The one standing up? The weapons standing up go for approximately?
The scopes alone are between $2,500 and $3,500. The rifles themselves are probably about $4,000 to $5,000 rifles.
So the rifles themselves are about $4,000 and the scopes go for an additional $2,000 to $3,000. So this is obviously a lucrative business for someone, and it's basically profiting off potential murder. You know, when you're selling weapons without a license to people who should not have guns, you are obviously taking a knowing risk that those weapons could be used to commit crimes. You know, this comes on the heels, obviously, of yet another mass shooting in our country. And I can say for the Suffolk County Police Department and the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, we're going to do our part to keep our streets safe. And part of that is ensuring that we are seizing illegal weapons from our streets and targeting those who are selling illegal weapons to individuals in our county.
So what is the total number of weapons that are illegal that he sold?
So that's still to be determined. Obviously, any weapon that he sold is an illegal sale. He's not licensed to sell weapons. In addition to the fact that the sale is illegal, some of these weapons are simply illegally possessed, meaning that they're illegal weapons. They are not allowed to be possessed in New York State under New York State law. I mentioned that there are 2 on the table that are clearly illegal. The one that he sold was illegal, and we are examining the other weapons to determine which ones are legal or illegal under New York State law.
Can you tell us how he obtained the weapons?
And again, the ammunition clips are all illegal on the table, and the knives that are on the table are all illegal.
Can you tell us how he obtained the weapons, and has he ever possessed a federal firearm license beforehand?
So we're not going to comment about any further leads in this investigation, including regarding his source. Some of these weapons were legally purchased, and in terms of having a license to sell weapons, no, he did not have a license to sell weapons.
And he lived inside that home and was, for instance, like any family members of his that also lived there?
He lived inside that home. I don't have exact information in front of me as to who else lived there. we may be able to provide that information to you. Let me check with my team and also my communications staff, and I'll see what I can do.
There's a well-known path of illegal drugs pouring into New York State from the south. Is that a route some of these guns took?
So we're going to be working with ATF to trace all these weapons. That's standard procedure in all of our gun cases, and we'll be able to we'll be able to ascertain exactly where these weapons originated from.
Do you know how he marketed them? Did he have an online site? Or?
Certainly, I'm not going to go into anything outside of the felony complaint, but certainly when the undercover engaged with the defendant, it's as if he had a general store set up in his house.
A question for Mr. LaRusso.
But direct the question to me, and then
Right. I mean, is there any way you guys can comment about how it was to purchase the weapon from him, or about the relative ease it was?
no.
When you say general store, you mean they were all displayed?
Right, exactly. He was clearly displaying them, showing them off.
It's quite a seizure, and I congratulate you on this. With the recent shooting in Parkland, are the students of Suffolk County, are they safe? I mean, when you see something like this, you have to assume that there are other guns out there on the street. In your opinion, safety of our children.
So what I can say is the Suffolk County Police Department has taken dramatic steps to ensure the safety of our schools and our students. We have increased our firepower on the streets. More officers are trained and equipped with long guns than ever before. We've increased emergency service patrols on our streets. That's essentially our SWAT team. We've increased canine patrols on our streets. We have launched new partnerships, including the SCPD SHIELD program, which is a strategic partnership between the Suffolk County Police Department and the private sector, where we constantly push out information and training to make sure that people are prepared so that we can prevent an active shooter or a terrorist attack, and God forbid one occurs, we know how to respond effectively so that we minimize the number of casualties. We now have a team in Suffolk County that is going to be tremendous on this issue. With my team in the DA's office and our new commissioner who's coming in, Jerry Hart, who's coming from the FBI, which obviously has an expertise in terrorism and active shooter scenarios, and of course Chief Cameron, who's an expert on the issue. We are going to be well positioned to ensure the safety of the residents of Suffolk County. This is an ever-present threat, and we all have to be, of course, vigilant. And the old adage, and it's starting to sound cliche, but it's critically important to reiterate. The old adage, if you see something, say something, remains more true than ever before, and I'll tell you why. More than 60% of active shooters indicate at some point their intention to engage in violence. And if we speak up about these issues and law enforcement learns of these issues, then we can react.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
What about his criminal history? Does he have anything on his record of selling weapons?
No criminal history.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.